Nice. What's up, YouTube? And what's up, Instagram? I'm Yogi Chris, IMC Nation captain, founder of Ninth Limb Yoga, PhD of engineering, etc. Here at IMC Pegasus House, the main base in Las Vegas, where I live with AZD, Arash Pardi Bazaar, top player on the planet, man of many masterful skills, not the least of which is communication and imagination, which he says are the keys. And the keys to what? Well, what he's really known for worldwide is being top player, multiple relationships with very high value women, not ugly women, not loose women, not no makeup wearing, hairy armpit, hairy armed women. Not anyway. And in the nature of the relationship, I was about to say not like boss bitches. I don't know. I don't want to talk about his women, but from the let's say some of the women that I've seen him pick up and form relationships with, they are boss bitches, just not with him. The woman seems to change. Let me open this other light. Maybe that's less shadow. Let me turn on this. Be more conscious of lighting. Better show, better broadcast. Yeah, that's better. Okay, what's up, emo? Emo man, want to see you on class, bro. You got to hear the master talk. That's not me. I'm the Padawan. I'm the captain. So the woman seems to change when you change your beingness, and it could be day to day. It could also be you meet this girl on January 1st, and then like July you meet this other girl. Your beingness has changed, or maybe you meet her once. You meet the same girl on January 1st. You meet the same girl on July 1st, but you've changed your character. You maybe haven't changed your character. What's up, emo? Would be great to stream if you want to talk. Let's talk game. If you want to live stream, just request it. And since you might have time now, uh, the woman changes with your attitude, your character, and AZD is demonstrating. I've been studying with this guy for 9 years. In my background, I studied a lot of stuff. Okay, you're at work. So I'll give you a little background, emo, and everybody. So, obviously I studied many things. Many people have studied many things. Uh, it was surprising there's two captains in IMC Nation. They both happen to be named Chris. It's just a coincidence. So he's Captain Chris, I'm Captain Yogi Chris. And we're at the club yesterday, I think, last night, and he seemed surprised to find out that I was a bad student, actually, at school. I was like the lower third of my high school class. And I got into University of Oklahoma, which is not a particularly difficult university to get into. My wrestling helped me get in, and etc. There was one subject I did well at, and that was math, and then later physics. So I go to school to do math and physics. I was good at that stuff, but I was really not a good student. I wasn't even a good student in that stuff. Like, I just happened to be better at it. I was a student of wrestling, though, and I got really good at that. Later, sometime early, I was going for a master's degree. Wasn't good at it. Wasn't a good student either, but somehow, and I find a subject I'm really interested in, and I become a great student at it. The world's best graduate student at environmental accounting. Whatever that is, accounting natural resources, the energies, and making it make sense. Because there's a lot of variables in an ecosystem. You try to measure it. It seems easy. Go to try to measure it and then figure that out. Maybe you don't care, but I was passionate about it. So I was the best at it out of whatever the pool of students are worldwide, but that's, still a lot of people. I became a good student all of a sudden. Although I was a good student at wrestling, I was also a good student of the guitar. I was a student of it. I took like 6 lessons from a guy when I first started. Really influenced me actually, but I didn't continue doing lessons. Hold on, let me pin this video. But I became a student of the guitar, and you know, I got very far with it. Et cetera, et cetera. So there were some things that moving on up, student of yoga, student of IMC Nation. So he was a bit surprised. Why was I bringing that up? Emo? No. The woman seems to change with your attitude. Your character may not be changing much. You're studying things, but is your character really changing? What is character? This is like a hard to define thing. I mean, maybe look it up, Google it. Let's do it right now. What is character? Anybody want to write out before I find it? Character. What do you think it is? The definition or the etymology? Either one. Quiz time, everybody. What do you actually think character? Like if I say he has good character, bad character, masculine character, feminine character, character. You don't have to go masculine, feminine, or whatever. What do you think character is? Could you define that word? First, I mean, ask yourself, is it important? Is a person's character an important thing to know what that is? Like as a concept, a person's character. Because if you can't define it, then you don't know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, then how important could it be really to you? My grammar's fucked up there. How important could it really be to you? And if it's not important to you, then is character in life, being able to discern someone's character, meaning like to understand the finer details of a person's character. Is it important or not? Okay, so what did you guys write? Anybody write? Any thoughts? Definition? Connectivity isn't good. Bald, I don't know. God. That answer to that's God. Rade, what's your video? Why is your video not clear? Fuck. Well, I mean, it's connected to Wi-Fi, so is it any better now? Are you even reading our comment? Well, I am now. It's like Captain Obvious right there. Nice. I don't know what that is. Hi. Okay, good afternoon. Okay, nobody has any answers for this thing? Maybe you didn't hear it on YouTube, but everywhere else they're hearing it. Right. Let's see any comments over here. Dang. Okay. I'm gonna guess definition of character are defining attributes of a persona or personality. And etymology of character would be an exaggerated, I'm just going to throw it out there, an exaggerated template of, or an exaggerated archetype. I don't know where I'm coming up with that. I see comments are flowing in. Why are these anime characters in that? They're not anime characters. They're not anime characters. Do you know? Hello. Okay. It's funny. You don't have to type your question 7 times. You guys must be going to weird streams, weird people streams. You got to type it so much. Okay. So the definition of a character, since nobody wanted to try, there's a bunch of them as Jesus. There's like 12. Okay. The mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. That's better put than what I said. The distinctive nature of something, the quality of being an individual in an interesting or unusual way, strength and originality in a person's nature, a person's good reputation. I like that one also. Dated, written statement. Okay. A person in a novel. Okay. A part played actor. Got it. A printed or written letter. Simple. Yeah. A biology. Oh, yeah. I forgot that a letter is called a character. Inscribe, engrave character. Okay. So really it's the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. I also like a person's good reputation or person's reputation. To what do I owe this attack on my character? Yeah, okay. So yeah, character, I could see that being public reputation. It's like 80-20. It's like 20% your reputation, 80% the mental and moral qualities distinctive to an individual. That's character. I should have titled this character, the stream. Is emo still on? I'm curious. It is emo. Okay. What do you do for work, bro? That you can be watching the stream. Okay, etymology. Where a word comes from? From 1300s. Character. Symbol marked or branded on the body. Okay, it originally was a symbol. Symbol drawing used in sorcery, alphabetic letter, blah, blah, blah. Oh, 13th century, modern French, caractère. That's older. From the Greek, character. I don't know how to say these. Engraved mark. Okay, it was a symbol originally. A symbol. Oh, everybody. Mr. Sells Cars. Everybody, we have struck gold. We have come to the root, literally and in a punny way. which now don't even get me started on defining what pun is. I don't even know how to start that one. From the Latin character engraved mark, also symbol or imprint on the soul. Character, a man's character, the imprint on his soul. So it's like there's your soul, and then there's your character that's imprinted on your soul. It's a metaphor because I don't think you could imprint your soul. But I would almost say it a different way. I would say different from imprint. I would say an extrusion. That's like an engineering or a architectural term or something. Extrusion. It's like there's your soul and there's your character, the part that we see. And that is kind of the ego and whatever. All these things are kind of circular. It's hard to define. You can't define a word without defining a bunch of other words because you need to use words to define a word. So then where do those word definitions come from? Is it circular and that word defines that word and that word defines that word? Or how do you do this thing? Language is like a trap with that. You ever think of that? Probably not, because I just thought of it. Okay, back to it, everybody. Your character is probably not changing too much. Time moves forward, unless you're an IMC Nation learning from AZD. There are maybe other experiences, new experiences can help reshape your character. Out with the old, in with the new. A lot of people out there, man, they're not doing much. They're not really having new experiences. For example, you may travel 100 different places. You didn't have 100 new experiences traveling. Once you traveled, you've traveled. It's traveling. You get in a train, there's a new experience. You get in a plane, that's a different experience. But you get in a train 100 times, how many? Okay. Now, Buddhism, spirituality, everything, this and that, like all the masters behind me. Empty your cup, face the present moment freshly, newly, and you can have experience each and every moment. Even if you were in a jail cell and it was the same old jail cell, the same bars that you saw every day, you could evolve. Enter the beast process, where AZD codified a whole system that allowed certain inmates that he had contact with to thrive and in that very, very harsh environment. Now, it's just ingredients to what we do, but we get to draw there. If there's any wisdom to be had in prison, given that the guys did crimes, but if there's any wisdom to be had in a man surviving that environment, having a wife, a second girlfriend, everybody knows about each other, and being a shot caller for 25 years, if there's any wisdom to be had, we have some drops of that in the IMC Nation Beast process, the coat of arms, and just the lifestyle and what we do here. So character, the imprint on your soul, the quality, moral qualities that define you, and a little bit of your social rep, your character. Dang, I fucking love defining shit, especially when it's important shit. So how is that changing? How's your social rep changing? How are your mental and moral qualities changing, or are they? How what was the other thing I said? Anyway, that's why I think people like good movies. It's like you change. You get a perspective on some mental or moral quality that you reconsider. And then you're changed afterwards. So people get addicted to watching movies. People get addicted to self-help videos. YouTube. I got something in my eye. Out of nowhere. Where'd that even come from? Pick up. You've any man that's in a certain age range goes down the self-help route is probably going to come across pickup, dating, coaching, that sort of stuff. Usually a few times. Like they'll go in circles. They'll touch it and then they'll go to some other stuff. Then they'll circle back to it. YouTube algorithm, whatever, but they also click play and go down that line. Questioning yourself is the best way to evolve. Yes, that's very interesting. Interesting you say. Because the kinds of experiences a man can have that cause him to question himself helps you evolve. What experiences are you having that's causing you to question yourself? One of the best experiences for a man is, I could say in competition with, I could say side by side with, I could more generally say like in observation of a man similar to him achieving something that is out of his reach. See a man that looks just like you, 10 times richer. You're like, what the fuck? What am I doing? Observe his life, and you're like, I could do that. I could do, You know what I mean? So observe a man with 9 super fine. I couldn't figure out to say hot or fine. I was going to say fought. Super fought girlfriends. Super, imagine a man, and he's just 2 arms, 2 legs, and long-term relationships, and watch him pick up some leave, whatever. I've seen him up to 11. You know, I've seen some of the main players still there. The main 4 girls have been around since, no. The main 2 have been around for 9 years. I've been around. Then 2 more came on the scene about 6, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. 7 or 8 years ago. And coincidentally, actually, another girl of the 9 was around at that time, just not very far along, just kind of acquaintances, and they were playing that game for many years, actually. But she was around, actually, and I had met her inadvertently, whatever, at a club. And so imagine, since I've been around, actually, that one had been around as an acquaintance. So 3 had been around for 9 years. Then 2 others been around for 6, 7, 8 years, something like that. Since then, I've seen probably 20 other girls become girlfriends and break up. Girlfriends and break up. Some of those was around for 6 years or 7 years. Other longer, a lot of them short, 3 months, 2 months, 1 month even. 2 weeks, I think was like the shortest. But like legit girlfriends, acknowledged and treated that way. That's a lot of relationships. And they were all fine. All of them. So you see a man do that. If you're interested in the subject, you know, you've been doing YouTube, you circle back around a few times, you start looking into it, you compare and contrast, even if you don't think in those scientific words or whatever, but you're comparing everybody. You're going with what works, what sounds right, what resonates. If you stick with it for some time, some guys that maybe you liked, you stop liking them. Like you grow because you're questioning something that you probably never learned directly. So it's causing you to like Emo says, or no, sorry, it's I don't know how to say your name. Itkadis. It's probably Greek or it's some kind of made up name. You know, when guys are just like you, probably look uglier in some cases, fatter, sloppier, and they're talking about experiences that you convinced that they had. Like the way that they're talking, it's like they're not bullshitting. Later, come to find out, some of them are legit bullshitting. They're pretty good storytellers, and they were faking. Just straight lying. Amazing. I never got too fooled by them. I just didn't like them. I didn't consider that maybe they were faking. But other guys, you know, they're really actually having those experiences. You're like, that guy? Fuck. And some of the shit makes sense. You upgrade, you question yourself, you maybe try it out. Probably don't get very far with it. But your philosophy, your internal mindset and perspectives about, you know, the dating game, that competition that you're in with half the planet. Take out the too young, take out the, I don't know who you take out. You consider you take out. Hugh Hefner was like in his 90s. So, I mean, how old do you really take out a guy out of the running? But a lot of guys, they're, let's say, married or something, and they just like have given up. Are they really in the running or not? Well, I mean, just some kind of life-altering event in that guy's life, and he empties his bank account to go for the same girl that you might be going for. I think he is in the competition with us. I think they all are, except the too young, because they're just, balls haven't dropped or whatever. So, but potentially in the future, you know, so that's billions. Now, you don't have billions in your vicinity. Your girl may not have access to billions unless she's super fine on Instagram showing it and everybody is looking for it. Then it's up to Instagram, TikTok, whatever. If she gets exposed to that character, that person with all the money, resource, whatever. We're in competition with that. Now, you could play the money game to try to beat that. AZD doesn't do that. He's beating them all with women, except maybe some real high sultans from the Middle East or something, but they don't really have those women's hearts. They're buying it. You decide what you want. Chase the devil and get some sensation pleasures, or chase righteousness and get everything your heart ever wanted. And I can say that not being at the top of the pyramid of either of those, but with the philosophy, the mathematics that if you compromise to get the sense pleasures and the gratification, but you can admit that that person doesn't have that woman's heart. Maybe one of them do. Maybe one of them is really a romantic guy, not a bad guy at all. Maybe he really has a deep connection, blah, 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 blah. Maybe. Okay, I acknowledge that that's possible. I also acknowledge looking around, I don't see any men with that anywhere. So maybe I just don't have access to that level, but from what I've seen of the elites and the Illuminati, like there's not a lot of great characters in there. There are some. Donald Trump's great. His connection with Melania, probably super dope. I hope it is, because I look up to them. But the rarity of having a woman's heart. And like I said, 9 years I've been around, 2 have been around, 6, 7, whatever, 3, whatever. I forget all the numbers, but a bunch of them have been around for a long time. Does he have their heart? Bro, in my life, playing the player game, multiple relationships or whatever, it takes a lot for a woman to publicly be all right with you being with other women. She's in literal competition with those women. At the higher level in the understanding of it, they're actually family, but they're always in competition, almost like brothers are. They're not enemies, but they are in competition. And of course, healthy brothers, they're not, but they also still healthily compete. So there is that. It takes a lot for a woman who now add to that the women have a lot of choice. Each of them, a lot of choice. And you're starting to get a picture of the measure of the gap. It's really quite there's a lot of words for it. Spectacular, amazing, daunting. Like I said in the last class or whatever I said a couple hours ago. It's a good word. It's daunting. You're at the base of a pyramid looking up. And you're like, well, what the fuck, man? I've been on this path for, let's say, 9 years. I still feel like, because you know what? As you climb the pyramid, if you don't look down, you just keep looking up, you still feel like you're at the base of a pyramid. And it's like, this pyramid is growing as I'm walking up it. The fuck? But if I ever take a stop and look back and I'm like, oh, this is a fucking awesome view. But my legs are tired. So you start complaining, but it's like, bro, you want to be on the ground? When you started this journey is when you arrived at the base of the pyramid. All your life, you were wandering looking for a pyramid that you maybe didn't even know existed. You just found one and you were like, I don't want to leave this spot because what else is out there that I would want to see? This pyramid is so magnificent. What else am I going to adventure to and try to find? You might, and, don't be like that elephant in National Geographic, the baby elephant that it got lost in a dust storm and it's following its mom's footsteps. Only it doesn't know it's going in the wrong direction. And so it walks to its demise because it's following its mom's footsteps in the wrong direction. It got turned around in the dust storm. So the guy finds the pyramid, goes the other direction thinking he's going to find another pyramid or something greater. And I don't know, what is there greater on the face of the earth besides the pyramids of Giza? Besides the pyramids of Giza, what's really better? I mean, you could aesthetically like this piece of art, that the Mona Lisa is better than pyramids. Bro. The Mona Lisa is great, or whatever art, great. Explain how the pyramids were built, because I can explain how that art was built. That's great that somebody drew that, but explain to me how the pyramids were built. And when you unravel that sweater, it's like, that's way more fulfilling to me than a piece of art. Maybe someone else isn't, but that's what AZD is to me. It's a pyramid. Not as a person. He is. He's an avatar for that. Explain how this art is created. Which art? The IMC art game? He's typing. The devil is leasing to every single word when we ask good. Yes, there's a lot of choice. Yeah, a lot of choice. So the fact that AZD's got so many women, he has so much choice among the women that have so much choice. It's orders of magnitude gap. And that's why you got to fully re-educate yourself. You have a completely wrong education with women. I'm telling you, as an insider for 9 years with AZD, And watching the guy change also, his character changes. He's not like done changing. It's a moving target, his evolution. He's blazing the trail, running faster than everybody can keep up behind him, even though they don't have to blaze the trail. They're just following, you know? So that starts with the daily class. Guys, get on the daily class. $97 a month. I'm sure Kalev can admit and testify that that shit is dope. It's maybe not always seemingly relevant to what you're going through, because how often do you go to strip clubs or whatever? But keep watching. And the language, just like when we defined character, when you understand the vocabulary of a subject, you'll start to peer more into it and see more into it. And that's called discernment. And or distinctions, or the discernment adds an element of righteousness to it. But it is that, here is that, but what I just defined is not necessarily righteous. But what we do is discernment. We discern God's genetic code in man and women, or evolution, or nature's, or Krishna's, or Brahma's, or Muhammad, or Allah's, or whoever's creation of the human game of survival and replication. And that's the social dynamics. And, you know, it's contextual on a lot of stuff, like the DNA code, the evolutionary psychology, etc. And the art, like Kalev was asking. What is he saying here? Behind your back, on wall, alien Buddha. That's interesting. I totally misunderstood your original question. My girl made this for me. Main characters are Jesus right there, L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, Transcendental Meditation, a representation of an alien, not necessarily my favorite, but pretty cool. Not necessarily not my favorite either. It's just, you know, and I'm realizing on the other camera angles, it looks like I'm pointing in midair. So sorry, guys. You guys, there, you can see the full thing now. Congratulations. Take a screenshot, print it, sell it, send me the money. Krishna. I believe that's Krishna. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not too into the Hindu stuff, even though I'm Yogi Chris, like, but a representation of a, it probably would help me to actually know. I'm going to ask her now as I'm thinking about it. Now I've evolved to a point where I care. There, I just realized. Shaping my character, Kalev. I just changed my character. I care. And then Buddha, right? And there's another Maharishi with his teacher behind him. So that's what that is. Okay, good question. Let's say you follow, yeah. Okay, brothers. So, do you believe in best art is created from suffering and pain? Michael. Is that Archangel Michael or like Michelangelo or what? Michael Jackson? I don't know. Best art is created from suffering and pain. On face value, without, because it's not really my expertise, I'm just I would say yes, but again, I think that suffering and pain need to be better defined. I don't think we're meaning the same thing by suffering and pain. For example, you could be with your woman and you love her so much and you create art from the pain, how much you love her, because you know that you're not going to be together at some point. Or maybe you do know you're going to be together forever, etc. Soul lives forever. And you paint from that bliss. For example, example within an example, embedded examples. Man, I feel like everybody learns a little bit of language because I'm so nerdy when I podcast. So, some spiritual lineages create art from the state of bliss, from, or maybe not. Maybe it's more they achieve the bliss, and then when they're out of the bliss, they create the art. And it's a suffering from longing for the bliss. Maybe some of them are able to hold the paint, but maybe they achieve bliss while they're painting, drawing, sculpting, whatever, making music. So I think it puts up a strange target for an individual. The target they're aiming for is suffering and pain so that they can create art from it. If we buy the statement, the best art, the best art. No, I don't know. I'll tell you, I think all art is trying to communicate a message, and that the individual creating the art is suffering and is unfulfilled. However, I have seen, and I live with a man who is a living artist. If you consider an actor an artist, and the acting he does seems to be the kind of role that he can embody day and night, day after day, month after month, year after year. And just like any character in a movie, that the character changes throughout the movie. So it's not a set thing. It's a thing that's changing. His art, his role, his acting through this life. Part of his acting is teaching. Part of his acting is picking up women and having relationships. Part of his acting is speaking in this way, being a certain somebody to different individuals. Let's say a high level or a rapper or a celebrity or a woman that's in illness or something, like, who is this guy to them? To the homeless guy that we walk down the street, who is this tattooed motherfucker walking through to that homeless guy? You'd be surprised because AZD often interacts with them. But what is that person's lens of AZD? He's a role in life, and he takes it like that. He treats it like his art. He's a artist of life, a lifestyle artist, not just a pickup artist, not a seduction artist, not a relationship artist, although it boils down to that is the substance of life, are your relationships. And how you live and navigate them is through imagination and communication. On a deeper level, imagination, that's, like if you have beliefs about something, people might say like belief systems, or like I've said, your structure inside, your mindset, your whole system of philosophy of thinking. Where is that contained? Where is the container, the file cabinet, the computer software system, the hard drive, whatever, that contains your belief system? It's in your imagination. It's in your mind, but you got to call it up to know it. That's your imagination. Now, it's a very, forget the word, but it's a very mechanical use of imagination, using it like a hard drive. But you're changing things all the time. You're not really too in control of your imagination. It's been beat out of you, indoctrinated out of you. You've been made to focus on all kinds of other things. So even if you had any free time and mental energy to imagine shit, you're focusing on this and that and this and that. A lot of wrong information, almost all of it. And if it's not wrong, it's linked with other wrong information that kind of makes it not as useful as it could be. You have barely enough knowledge to function and survive at a base level as a man, as a woman, whoever's listening, whoever you are. Even if you're wealthy, because we've seen it plenty of times in IMC, the wealthy guy is miserable. He doesn't have the philosophy of life. He has philosophy of making money in that one niche, maybe a couple niches if he's a great businessman, but what we would call a great businessman, because part of being a businessman is being a great man. So how can you be a great businessman if you're okay? So like modifies that word so that we can turn a blind eye to a man's low moral character by just not judging him, say he's a great businessman, which would still be true if he has a bunch of great businesses. But don't miss that he's not a great man. He's a great businessman. Because what would be a great man? Well, I bet. Okay, let me get some money and put it down. I bet that a great man gets a lot of women. Because why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't the women choose the great man? Are you measuring something that all the women are not? Are all the women so confused? Yes, hella confused. But now let's talk about the fucking theme of this goddamn stream that it took me 45 minutes to get to. No, sorry, 35 minutes to get to. The title that you've all been waiting for. Drum roll. Unspoken communication. There's a part of you that communicates that you're not conscious of. You might be a little conscious of it, like if you wink at somebody, but are you always conscious every time you blink? Do you know that a lot of times, if you're in dialogue with someone, your blinking communicates something? The timing of it, how long it, how slow it is. It's all very subconsciously read, and some of it may be inconsequential. It says something, but it may not be important to the overall message of what you're communicating. So it goes ignored a lot of times. Watch a person not blink and see how you realize that blinking is a communication. Everything you're doing, how you breathe, hold your body, etc., move your arm, blah, blah, blah. You name it, yes, it communicates something. What you're wearing, how you groomed yourself, your body odor, it all communicates something. And most of it, you're not conscious of. So why was I saying all that? Man, I had a whole point right before that. Unspoken communication. What was I saying right before that? Let's just check comments. If Kyle, if you remember what I was saying before that. Johnny Ringo. Come to class, everybody. It's all in the description. Thanks. I've gotten that before about Agent 47. I should look that guy up again. Forgot. Okay. All right. Okay. Nobody remembers? Uh, did you get the choice to have total control in your dreams? What? I agree. Imagination is that one. Art is a reflection of the subconscious. Maybe. If art is a reflection of the subconscious, so is everything. That's what I'm saying. Your life is a reflection of your subconscious. So your subconscious is actually more boring than you think based on how you live. Take it for what it is. It might be clean. It might be organized. It might be, you might have all this and that going for you. But I think that the exciting life, the righteous life, the great life attracts women. And it's like, well, they're all so, oh, that's what I was talking about. They're all so confused. Yes, but there's a part of them that is not confused. The part of you that knows when it's attracted to a woman. Did you decide that? Or is that God's code for mating so that the human race plays the game and the best mate and survive? The best mate, they get elected leadership. They get protected by the tribe. They mate and their offspring survives. We're attracted to those things. Now, those things are also warped. Okay, so people's attraction switches are warped by media, vaccines, etc., etc. But in there is a truth of life on earth. And I believe that the righteous man and the great man also overcomes all that bullshit because that's part of his greatness and righteousness. The businessman that's a great businessman has to overcome a ton of bullshit in the business world. All kinds of bad ethics, people scheming behind them, government intrusion, etc., etc., haters that leave bad reviews. You know what I mean? Like, so to be a great businessman, he's got to overcome all that bullshit that it gets in the way of pure business. The fuck is all these negativity that's making it throwing up weird obstacles to my success? Why can't we all just be in business and may the best man win? Same thing in dating. And that's what the world has devolved to. It's Satan's earth. So it's a fucking mess. That's all the illusions that people hold in their minds, that their imagination has been hijacked by the illusions that the indoctrination has given us. Illusions about what words mean, for example. Illusions about what relationship should look like. So today there's an event. It starts soon, in a few hours. You get the recording. It's a 2-hour event breaking down a date, a third date that AZD had with one of his new girlfriends. He has 2 new girlfriends. One of them he went on a third date with. I was there on the first date, reported on it. The second date, reported on it. This is the third date. I can give you the story. I was there when he met her. He introduced her to me. I met her. So seeing the storyline and the plot and the logic of it, how it makes sense, the courtship, the seduction, the relationship. It doesn't not make sense. It's an old teaching I got from AZD about the Hermetic principles. The idea was something like there's a principle of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. And is this a cause-effect universe, or is this a random universe? Because if we say, well, part of the universe is random and some other things are cause-effect, because obviously, if I let this go, it falls. Cause-effect. So, I don't know. Hot water hurts. You know what I mean? Like cause-effect. Some things are definitely cause-effect. Eat right, you lose weight, or something like that. Cause-effect. Too much evidence, bro. So, some things are cause-effect, but does that mean there are some things that are random? At what point does it stop being cause-effect and it becomes random? Subatomic motions? Really? Maybe we just don't understand. The principle is this, that it's a cause-effect universe. Everywhere is cause-effect. You may not know the causes of the effects you're experiencing, but everything has the cause that created it, the situation, whatever. Okay, so relationships, fulfilling relationships, courtship, romance, pickup, sex, all of it. Good, put good behind all of those. Good sex, good relationships, good courtship, good pickup, good game, good. Is cause-effect. Now, you may choose to believe that because of the conditions you were born with, color of your skin, height, age, whatever, you may choose to believe that things that are outside of your control are part of the necessary causes. That if you don't have these variables proper, then you'll never get the right effect. I don't believe that. I believe in an infinite universe, that in infinity, there is one solution at least that gets the effect I want. No matter what. I believe even if I were Stephen Hawking in a wheelchair or just some retard in a wheelchair, I mean, it's only up to my level of awareness. I would have to be a great mind to be able to jump dimensions and timelines. And I also believe through Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, and really all of them, that a person's ability and intelligence on God's code, which everything can be provided through God. The right action, God provides. Who made the cause-effect logic of the universe? Why, when I let this go, it falls? God. Why everything that it, why? Why? The root why is God made it. Or it's spontaneously, whatever. But whatever that thing outside of our awareness that like we just can't even, why? Why? And once we solve that why, there'll be another why. I don't know if that makes sense to you. But yes, I'll share my thoughts about aliens. Then I gotta go. So relationships and courtships and everything, it's cause effect. And it's within your ability. It's within your reach. Compared to the age of the universe, it's at hand. Like they say in the Bible. It's right there. You just gotta reach out and grab it and got it. Now, in this lifetime, it's going to take some work, energy, money, this and that. The pain and suffering of changing your character, realizing that your character was wrong. You've been wrong all your life. And boy, does that hurt the ego. And each new question, each new experience that causes you to question yourself, it hurts a little bit. And that's how you become a lifestyle artist. Boom. Boom. Tying it all together, Caleb. How is that? Is that good? It's like a song. Yeah. Righteous. Okay. Caleb's a little tired. It's late there. I get it. But let's, in conclusion, observing the courtship that AZD has with this new girlfriend and what happened on this date and the sequence of events, I think a lot of the questions that I'll be talking and the theme of what I'm learning from AZD right now, like where I'm at in my evolution, is a lot of this unspoken communication. When she says something, what does it really mean? When she does something, what does it really mean? You know, like she scratches her hair. Okay, attraction. What if she turns when another guy enters? What does that really mean? How do you really handle it? Because not only do you have to decipher what she really means when she says that, understand that when she speaks indirectly, she communicates indirectly, it's because that's how she processes what she's trying to say. She's often not aware that she's bending her words to manipulate you. She's just not saying what she really means, what she's really experiencing. She's not good at communicating. But what that means is, okay, so you understand what she really means when she says that. Now, how do you communicate to her? Do you say literally what it is and hope that she gets it? Or do you have to speak in a way that you know she's going to translate it inside to mean something else to her? It's like you're playing golf and you putt and you're putting on the golf course and it slopes. You have to measure that slope. So you actually, the hole is here. You got to aim over here because the landscape is going to move the ball. So when you communicate to her, her mind is going to bend what you say. So you not only have to be able to receive what she's saying and interpret it to know what she means, now you got to communicate to her in a way that she's going to interpret it to land in the hole. That's the level of finesse you need to be good at relationships, because good luck finding a woman you don't have to do that with. Good luck. So that's what it is. And that's why it's so difficult to learn, but that's what it is. You just got to see it, hear it more, hear the debriefings, hear the breakdown of what actually happened and what happens. And that gives you awareness of the game. Then you will find difficulty in being able to shift the way that AZD does, to respond in his ways, because the communication is difficult for your nervous system. The meanings are difficult for your mind to fathom because it's sensitive. Relationships, sexuality, all that stuff is taboo for people deep in their consciousness. So, to navigate your own mind and communicate like AZD and change yourself like AZD, you have to go places in your mind that you're not comfortable going. And it's all righteous. That's the thing. It's just been blocked off to you by conditioning and culture and everybody who didn't want you to think that way, to disempower the man. So, hearing about it takes you to that place in your consciousness and you start cleaning out. It shines the light where it's been dark and it's all dusty and dirty and messy, and you just got to start cleaning it up and putting order to it. Then your abilities will increase. Your ability will increase and you'll be able to mimic. You just got to hear it over and over and apply what seems right when it feels like it should fit. And that's a two-sided coin, a double-edged sword, because it is right when it feels right to do, but you're holding yourself back from it feeling right because it's already right. You just don't feel like it's right because you have all kinds of other beliefs that are holding you back. So you just got to keep cleaning out until the pathway is made in your mind that you can do this and that. Whatever you hear AZD talking about, we all talk about with the girls and the relationships and the dating. And these advanced seminars are, that at the highest level, dating and relationships, you will actually be able to mimic it in the world where you're at because you're learning the highest level tech on earth. Nobody around you is even close. You just got to be willing to make a few mistakes each step of the way. You make a few mistakes each step of the way. So it's like endless mistakes, But after you get enough successes under your belt, you'll start to realize, you can make bigger mistakes. You got to measure that. The bigger, really big mistakes are devastating. You married the wrong person. Tiny mistakes, she rejects your request for her number or something, or whatever. You suggest something and she doesn't accept it or something, whatever. So, then to be able to do what AZD does. So you increase in your ability as you clean out inside. Then the technicalities of how to do what he does. Different mind perspectives, use of your imagination, law of attraction, or just searching the Akashic records for the right things to say, etc. Prayer, all the things he does, the mental tech of what he does are the camps. That's the advanced trainings. Right now, the camp is called The Process, one of the best camps ever taken. personally. And, you know, it's a missing ingredient that hasn't been covered in other camps. A lot of camps, he circles back around to it and just kind of updates the tech. Still really great. There's always new students, and it's great for the old students too, because it's like, he's really good, man. You know, but the process has never been done before. That's not, it's the first time on this kind of idea. It's a lot of character stuff. That's why, you know, my streams are influenced by the advanced training. And then there's the daily class for all of the guys and girls, not even girls. Girls, fuck off. The guys that, you know, to start, you start on the daily class. You could start somewhere else and try, but I really would start on the daily class. I know it's a lot to keep up with, and you may not be able to keep up with it. You may not have to. You may just want to tap in with it every once in a while and do the advanced training. But it really will help you if you can watch it all. Nothing here is done in vain. Nothing is sloppy. It's all valuable. And it's priced accordingly to its rarity and its importance in the puzzle. So it's early bird right now on the event that's today. The link should be everywhere. It's $97, and then it goes up to $197 after. So the event is 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. today, uploading the recordings tonight. Then all of the other stuff, the daily class or the camps or whatever, just message me if you're interested in that stuff. And YouTube, my newsletter, I think, is in the description, so you can check out IMC Newsletter. I'm Yogi Chris, captain of IMC Nation. I appreciate the attendance and participation, and I'll see you guys. J Guru Dev, be the best, fuck the rest. IMC Nation.